Today's lesson truly should be one of the simplest lessons we have because simplicity succeeds and complexity kills. Now, I know that's a huge statement, but let me ask you a question. Do you feel that nowadays most people in the modern world are living a life that's way too busy? Look around. Does it seem like people are more stressed out than ever, doing the jobs of 10 people? And quite honestly, I'm not so sure that they're any happier. I don't know that they're any more successful. I'm not even sure that all this technology that's supposed to be making our lives easier isn't actually doing just the opposite. So today, I'd like to help you craft a winning game plan, which includes doing less and being more. And the first place to start is by simplifying your goals. Now, the goals that I'm talking about here are categorized into three areas. And where this came from is a few years ago, I polled over 10,000 people and had them share via a survey what their top three goals are. And we took these thousands of answers, we organized them, and discovered that all of their goals actually fell into these three categories. So there were goals like starting up a business, getting financially free, leaving an inheritance for their children, these kind of things. We saw goals like people wanting to lose 10 pounds and exercise more, get their six-pack abs back, get off of prescription medications. We saw people wanting to take trips around the world and retire early and things like this. So all of these goals actually ended up falling into these three categories, and we named this your trilogy score. If you're happy, if you're healthy, and if you're wealthy, you're pretty much winning, right? So I want you just to consider these three areas of happiness, health, and wealth. And another way to say this is having a healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. So by simplifying your life into these three areas of focus, what you should experience is that you'll have an increased ability to focus and you'll have a reduced level of stress. Now, if you're up for that, I'd like to share with you one more tool to help you if you're stuck. Oftentimes, I've seen people, especially people who have a lot of goals and a lot of dreams and aspirations, their mind gets too cluttered and they have trouble staying focused. So I designed this simple formula that I was using to help people break through. In other words, break through whatever was holding them back. And I call this model the CDA model. Now, it stands for clarify, decide, and act. So step number one is just to get clear on what you want. Step two, make decisions and then take action. Move towards these three goals that you set. Now, for a lot of people, getting clear on what they want is actually the toughest part. So I encourage you to invest a little time with this and ask yourself, what do I really, really, really want? Because in life, we don't get what we want. We get what we really, 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 really want. I want you to then narrow it down to the one thing you want the most in happiness, the one thing you want the most in your health, and the one thing you want the most in your wealth. So you could ask yourself, if I could have X or Y, but not both, I would choose X. So example would be if I could run a 5K or have a six-pack abs, but not both, I would choose run a 5K. All right? So that's just a simple way to help you start to sort things down. And what you'll find is once you do that, then it becomes easier to say no to anything other than that goal. Now, it's not to say you won't get those other goals later on, but in my experience, if you identify the one thing that you really, 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 really want, then everything else takes a second fiddle. Once you accomplish that, then you can move on to the other piece. Now, I want to give you one more little distinction here, because once you get clear on it, then comes in the word decide. Now, decide or decision comes from the Latin root word decise, and decise means to cut off. So you may have heard this before. You may have heard that precision means to cut before something, incision means to cut into something, and decision means to cut away. So your job is to get crystal clear on what you want and then decide or cut away anything other than that one goal. Those things are simply distractions that are keeping you from having the maximum amount of energy to accomplish your goal. The key to this, of course, is don't overcomplicate your game. Put your happiness first, then your health, then your wealth, and watch what happens to the quality of your life. Once you're clear on what you want, you make decisions and take actions, everything else gets easy. The final formula here to help you get even more focused is stop, start, and continue. If you're not clear on what you want for your goals, you can use the stop, start, continue. Stop doing the things that you know you shouldn't be doing, right? And we all have those, right? How many of you know that you shouldn't be reaching for that junk food at 10 o'clock at night, right? How many of you know you shouldn't be surfing the internet for an hour or two a day, right? Stop doing some of those things. Start doing the things you know you should be doing. Start hydrating more. Start eating healthy, live, organic foods. Start getting up and exercising in a healthy way. Start getting to bed sooner without technology so that you get rest. These are the simple things. Stop doing the things you shouldn't be doing. Start doing the things you should. And then continue doing the things that are already working. I know that this is really simple, but just remember, in life and business, simplicity succeeds and complexity kills.